All right, we are live. Salam alaikum, everybody. Yvonne here from My Halal Kitchen and Dr. Maria Saeed, hosting Mom MD.
Hello, hello, hello.
So today we are here for our weekly video series on boosting your immunity, which is a topic I think most people are really interested into these days. We have talked about so many different topics within this series. If you guys haven't seen them before, please scroll through either my Facebook feed or YouTube channel and Holistic Mom MD's Facebook feed as well to see past videos that we've done. We do about an hour every Wednesday, same time, same two of us talking. We go on lots of tangents about things and give you some recipe ideas and so on and so forth. So today we're going to talk about fruit. Sounds so basic, right? What about fruit and how does it boost your immunity? Well, Dr. Saeed is the expert in what boosts your immunity, and I try to give you guys ideas on recipes and such, but she's a super mom, so she does a lot of that too. So look at her with her fruit plate. Mine is all behind me.
No, but it's so beautiful. Like, look how pretty it is.
Yeah, you've got, so what do you have there? Tell us what you've got.
So today we're talking about, again, fruit. And I know specifically right now we're all running towards our sugar and, with all this fear and we're like, oh, we need comfort food. But why not? That comfort food is actually going to slow down your immune system. So why not get some fruit that will actually is packed with phytonutrients that will help to optimize and boost your immune system. Yes. And so we got like berries and just try to incorporate each one of these colors into your daily routine. And it's so super powerful. And it really, and it's delicious. I don't even know why. Once you get used to this, like all the other stuff feels like it's
Well, we talked about last week. We talked about vegetables, and that was also about eating the rainbow. So, I look at it like God, nature. It gives us, so much variety, and depending where you live, there's just so many things that you can eat seasonally and locally. And now we're in the heart of the summer. And I don't know about you guys, but I have found some beautiful things. Fresh figs. Figs are in season now. If you live in a Mediterranean climate, you're going to really find different varieties of figs, like purple figs and yellow figs or greenish, brown figs. There's so many different, kinds right now. I've got these beautiful sour cherries, but you can get, the regular plumper ones, the bigger ones. There are all kinds of varieties. The world is full of different things. So, whatever looks appealing to you, they say, you eat with your eyes first. So the fruits are something that, you look at, you're attracted to them for a reason. Now, maybe your body needs certain things that those fruits have. I don't know. But I know for me, I go to a market and I see what's available and I just take kind of what feels like I'm craving at the moment. The peaches, I think with peaches, I grew up in Ohio, so we had a peach tree. And it seems to me like when I smell them, I think of my childhood. Does that ever happen to you, Medea? Certain things that
yum.
And to me, when you can smell the peaches as you're walking by, to me, that's the kind that I like to buy. So, and there's so many things you can do with fruits for the season. But, one thing I have to say is that I grew up where, we had a lot of fruit pies and fruit desserts. And the thing, we just got used to that's the way you eat fruit. And traveling around the world and seeing the way people eat fruit as just as what it is and how that's enough really changed my whole perspective on what to do with fruit. It sounds so simple and basic, but really if you grew up a certain way, eating something a certain way, that's kind of how you think it is, right? And it's supposed to be taken care of. So I have some ideas for what you can do with I have some bananas too, which are, pretty much available all year round. But what are some things that we can do with the fruits to make it interesting for you and your family, change things up with some variety in your life, but also just kind of not adulterate the fruit so much or put sugar. Why why do fruit dishes have added sugar?
Sugar. Oh my God. Can we talk about the elephant in the room? Please.
Yes, please. Sugar.
Sugar.
Yes.
Okay. Sugar, let me just make this blunt. Sugar is poison. It's toxic. It kills us. It makes us basically old, obese, and, ill. Old, obese, and ill. It's just not good.
Why do they say, like, this is what I was wondering, I see now in like beauty magazines and stuff, they say sugar ages you. Can you tell us, like, scientifically, why is that the case?
And this now you're going to talk about aging. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, let me now go into this.
Okay. Because I think it's like if you eat the actual fruits, you can look younger, right? Or
absolutely.
But if you go into like artificial sugars and things like that, you get old or look, like that's the
absolutely you do.
What is that?
Okay, so first I think we're gonna take a little bit of a science lesson first, because what happens as we age, and especially right now we're talking about the immune system, is that there are a lot of, with these immune cells are made in the bone marrow. And when they're in the bone marrow, they're naive cells, they're hemopoietic stem cells. And it's not until they come out of the bone marrow does the body tell you need to be, if it comes out into a world, if this like newborn naive cell comes out of the bone marrow to a world of inflammation, and like, let's say there's a virus that's attacking it, it's going to turn into an army cell. And if we have an immune system that comes out, if these immune cells come out into a world which is like nice and balanced, and there's no fear, there's no fright, then what happens is that we now these cells are peacemaking cells and do their job appropriately. So now that's the immune system piece of it. But as we get older, there's some cells that are called senescent cells. So these cells are called zombie cells, and these are the immune cells, or just different types of cells that are old, they don't replicate, they don't do their job well, and what they do is they basically release a lot of these inflammatory cytokines. So as you get older, you have more senescent cells, more cells that are more zombie cells, and what we have to do in order to combat that is that we got to make sure our bone marrow keeps on making some more immune cells. But the higher sugar intake that you have, the more senescent cells. So it's called, what you want, immunosenescence basically means that you need to make sure that you get rid of all the junk food. You got to immunorejuvenate your stem cells. And the only way that you're going to do that is by providing an environment to get rid of the old cells and make new fresh cells. So I hope I didn't confuse you there. And that's where sugar is one of the main things that leads to more older cells, the body unable to clean up. It basically doesn't help immunorejuvenation, no. And on top of that, what it does is within hours, it interferes with your ability of the white blood cells to actually destroy toxins and fight infections within hours of eating it. And if that wasn't good enough, hours of eating sugar, it actually disables your immune system. So not only does it allow you to have nice new cells, it disables your immune system. And then what also happens is that you have this bad growth of bacteria. So it feeds those bad bacteria. When it feeds those bad bacteria, then what also happens is it also feels like bad fungi, like yeast, like fungi, and leads to inflammation and destroys again, we talked about the white blood cells. But another piece of the puzzle, so that was one way that it makes you old and aging, is that it leads to more of these older type cells that have to fight inflammation. It makes you basically inflamed inside the body, and you have lots more older cells than younger cells. And on top of that, too, another big reason is that actually leads to us being more metabolically unstable. Because why? because all this blood sugar raises your blood sugar levels, it spikes your insulin, it leads to weight gain, diabetes, and can even lead to fatty liver. And so all of these things can, especially right now when we're in a world where our immune system needs to be tip-top shape, we're in a world where this virus is attacking those that are metabolically unstable. And I know in the United States, only 12% of the population is metabolically stable. That means that 88% of Americans are metabolically unstable. That means that's a lot of people.
And so tell us the difference between, I know a lot of people, particularly like diabetics, they don't want to touch fruit because they feel like, that sugar is going to raise their blood sugar. So tell us the difference between the sugar you're referring to versus the sugar in fruit. What is that really important difference? Otherwise, we wouldn't be touting, eating the rainbow of fruit.
Absolutely. Because remember, this fruit actually has fiber associated with it. And when you have like fructose with fiber, that's when it doesn't raise your blood sugar level. And on top of it, these are just nutrient dense. I know I don't even recommend people drinking just fruit juice. Like, how you can buy just like 100% fruit juice? No, because it doesn't have the pulp, it doesn't have the fiber. Right. You want to just be eating a piece of fruit, which is so much more impactful, and it doesn't raise the blood sugar level. And why would you want to just throw away all of those great phytonutrients from the fiber that you're getting from that?
And most fruit juices are like, it's not going to be one orange that you're drinking in a glass of juice. It's going to be like maybe, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, something like that. That's way too much in one shot, right? Who would sit down and
way too much?
5 oranges typically, right? I mean, that would be a lot of sugar. And also, there's so much added to those fruit juices. I mean, if you look at most fruit juices, okay, now I know today they have natural juices and things have cleaned up a lot, but it just seems like way too much fruit. And then you really have to read labels because usually the first ingredient is sugar. I know a lot of people who try to better their health instead of like getting off of soda, and then they go straight to juice. So what's the big difference, right? I mean, it's like soda has so much sugar, but then most of those juices have a lot of sugar. So
a lot of additives. I know, like when I've seen, places in England or even just here in the United States, there's a lot of other junk they do and fillers that they'll just put in there. And even just natural, I've even seen like fruit juices have natural flavorings added to it. And natural flavoring is anything but natural.
Well, so and also from a halal perspective, natural flavorings a lot of times are not halal. They're made of really unacceptable ingredients. So you've got the health factor and the halal factor. So it wipes away the halal and the tayyib factor. So
I love that. It wipes away the halal and the tayyib.
It's like boom, boom. So I always like to say, go as natural as possible. Not everything natural is something you can eat. I understand that, but we know what those basic things are, and as fresh as possible. So now that we have summertime, I know a lot of farmers markets around the country are considered essential businesses, and I'm really glad that they started doing that because obviously food is essential, and the best, most nutrient-dense food is super essential. So that's great that places like Chicago, and I've seen in California as well, that they really, have opened those up. So I encourage people, go outside, get some vitamin D, wear your mask, and go shopping for the freshest fruits you can of the season. So would you recommend that too?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Eat seasonally is really, really, really important.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and, we talked about this a little bit last week about the vegetables and that, in season, the fruits have the most nutrient density to them, right? And also, it looks as though you have certain elements in fruits and vegetables in season that your body might be lacking at that time of year. For example, in the winter, why are citrus fruits seasonal in winter? There's what's in citrus? Calcium, do we need more calcium in winter? I don't know from a scientific perspective, but it seems to me like I crave it in the winter. I don't know, it's just really interesting particularly if you live in a climate where you can get things seasonally and you really pay attention and only buy seasonal. It's not easy, but it kind of, if you really pay attention to it, I don't know, I felt more satisfied and healthy eating seasonally. So, oh, please, someone is saying, please elaborate on what you're saying is not halal in regards to additives. Tina, so from a halal perspective, natural flavorings, sometimes they can be from insect sources. So I know that kind of sounds gross, but
and not even that. Well, I've a beaver butt.
Yeah.
Anal canal of a beaver, even.
Yeah, the anal glands of beavers can be put in certain food glands. So
it is. It's terrible.
Yeah, you would be surprised what the food industry has found that they can, I don't know, dry up or powder up or synthetically add this and that. They've done so many things in the name of innovation and modernity that you really truly don't know what you're eating anymore.
You don't, because remember what natural flavors do, or what they are, is that these natural flavors, they just have to start off with a natural product, but they can add up to 100 chemicals to change it into whatever they want to change it into. So it's really
they can call things, organic, for example, or a certain criteria, an amount or percentage of something that they can have, where they can still call it natural. But don't forget, using an animal product is considered natural. Okay, it's not chemically created in that sense. So you really need to understand, and that's why I tell people from the very beginning when I wrote the My Halal Kitchen Cookbook, it was getting down to basics. Do the basic cooking for yourself. Go as simple as possible, because when you simplify your cooking, when you simplify your ingredients, you know what it is. I know this is a fake. All right, I can talk to the farmer and say, did you spray it? The basic questions I have to ask now are, was it chemically sprayed, and is it GMO? Like 2 questions that I'm always asking. If I have to keep asking, what is this ingredient in here? What is this? What is this? I will drive myself nuts.
You're gonna go crazy.
I mean, I've kind of minimized my overwhelm factor by going completely as much down to nature and basics as possible. That's the best recommendation I can give to anybody who really cares about what's in their food is go back to nature. Go back to nature.
Yeah, we just gotta go back.
All that rubbish was in our food. Yeah, read the My Halal Kitchen Cookbook. Even if you guys are not interested in halal, for example, when I wrote that book, I did years of research on the food industry itself, and discovered through researching halal and meeting food scientists and talking to them, they're really interesting people. They know a lot about what goes on in the food system, and they will tell you, a name of an ingredient has a long list of really what's in it. And so they really have their fingers on the pulse of what's being put in our food. And so when I was diving into like the halal factor, I learned about kosher, I learned about what makes things, vegan, gluten-free, all of that. But then you really learn, oh my God, what do they put in, a basic yogurt or sour cream or even milk? You really would be surprised. But if you read my book, you're going to see more of that explanation of, and also why, for example, something wouldn't be halal, because we can, there's only a certain amount of stuff that we can't have in order to eat halal, but that's how you also realize, my God, what is in our food is insane.
It's no longer food. These are just food-like products. And that is where going back to the basics is so important for us, because when specifically if we're going to talk about halal, we got to talk about tayyib, and tayyib means pure, and pure for what God has created. So these are like, how many ingredients are on all of these?
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
And this is all tayyib. When you start getting stuff into packaged and artificial, and If it's not, I mean, a 100% pure orange juice doesn't have anything else in it. So 100% pure fruit shouldn't have anything else. Pure food shouldn't have anything else in it that you don't understand. So if it doesn't look like it's from, there's chemicals and things you don't understand, get rid of it. It's not it's not part of our religion. We have to go back to the foods that God made, not the foods that man made, period.
And also, if you look at today, you can go into a lot of grocery stores and places where they are making like green smoothies and really healthy, all natural things, and that's wonderful. Things are changing. But I have seen the prices on some of those. They can be $10 to $12 for a glass this size, you know? And I tell people, we talked about it that the week we did drinks, right? The immune boosting drinks. You get a blender and you mix up in literally in 2 minutes. I mean, I know there's a convenience factor. I know that it's fun to go out, and that's fine. But I think it shouldn't be a deterrent to people to say it's too expensive, because when you look at the cost of somebody else making it for you or packaging it for you, then you're paying for those conveniences. But these really are, you know, easy to do at home. Tina's asking if I have recipes in that book. Yes, the book is full of recipes for basic condiments, so how to make your own mayonnaise and salad dressings and so on, but also goes into American, Latin, French, Italian, and Asian foods made halal. So how do you make those things halal from scratch? So the idea is start cooking your basics yourself. You know, like when you learn about the halal factor anyway, I guarantee you probably won't want to buy half of the stuff that is on the shelf. You really want to start making things yourself so you know what's in your food. So again, not just for the halal factor, but like for that you factor, like what the heck is in our food? I've had so many people who knew nothing about halal who came to my book talks, and they were shocked at like what is in our food. At least when something is certified halal, they have to say what's in it. But if it's certified halal, does not always mean that everything is pure, organic, natural. There's a lot of synthetic things that are certified halal. So you really, again, the book is like to teach you to read the labels and really understand what's in your food, and then go on and, you know, simplify your kitchen enough to make that stuff yourself. So I'll put a link later, but you're going to keep going.
Absolutely. So no, and you're absolutely right. And that's why I think me and you are going to put together a cookbook, and that's really going to show you that you can heal and have all your delicious food and recipes and still be nutrient dense, pure, heal from chronic conditions, and optimize your immune system all at the same time. So again, super powerful stuff. Lots of stuff that me and Yvonne are going to be doing together. So so you guys stay tuned for all of that.
So let's talk about some recipe ideas, guys. How about
because while we do that, actually, let me go first talk about the benefits of this, because I think color is where your phytonutrients are. So this is filled with color and phytonutrients. Red, super powerful for the immune system. Red has, like strawberries, has something called anthocyanins that are flavonoid, that are compound that basically are super antioxidant in brain health and cardiovascular health and men and women. And then we have tomatoes, which lycopene, that's a carotenoid that gives them that red color, and that's been studied for antioxidant benefits in cardiovascular health and cancer prevention. Then all of these berries, oh my gosh, let's go into the berries. Berries are super packed with natural antioxidants like vitamin C, vitamin E, beta carotene, and all of these are like polyphenols compounds that are, again, packed. Vitamin C is important for your immune system. Again, you know, we have the orange and the lemons, and all of these fruits have tons of vitamin C, which is important for your immune system. It boosts your immune system. It helps support the immune function. It helps with immunorejuvenation. It helps get rid of those senescent cells or those zombie cells, so it can make room for new, fresh immune cells. Then we also have vitamin E, which is this, again, super powerful antioxidant vitamin. And so again, so many different amazing fruits and vegetables here, and you want to try to get as much as color in as possible, because that color, eating the rainbow, will help you deliver that antioxidant, fiber, the vitamins that you need to help you prevent cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and lower the overall mortality risk. Again, moderation is key. You want to have at least just like a cup. I think for most people, they can handle like a cup a day, but you want to go for like as many colors as you can in your daily routine. And if you're gonna have, specifically if you have a lot of people with problems like, metabolic issues or pre-diabetes, then you really want to just stick with like the lower glycemic fruits. And those glycemic indexes, how much does that raise your blood sugar level? So your berries and your peaches and your strawberries and your kiwis, those have a lower glycemic index. And so those are the ones you can enjoy a little bit more. But the higher glycemic ones are your bananas, your grapes, your mangoes, your pineapple. Those are the higher glycemic ones. But again, right now, specifically now we're talking about your immune system. Berries are packed with antioxidants. They help protect against cancer, heart disease, dementia, arthritis. The most ones with the antioxidants, actually, you can't really even find in America. And they're called amla berry or Indian gooseberry. That is like 100 times more antioxidants. So I have to actually get it in like a powdered form. And I add this to my smoothies, packed with vitamin C and antioxidants. And then we have is goji berry, black raspberry, wild black blueberries, blackberries, elderberries, cranberries, strawberries, specifically berries and blueberries, and that's why I'm wearing blue for antioxidant blueberries. Blueberries can increase your NK cells. NK cells are your natural killer cells that attack and kill viruses. So it actually increases the amount of NK cells, and that is critical, for the immune system and getting rid of that virus, of infected cell. Plus, it can also kill off tumor cells, and it can help your immune system with developing memory against foreign invaders. So again, and what's so beautiful, I believe, in the Quran and Sunnah, Yvonne, fruits come over and over and over to like dates. You guys know dates can actually lower your cholesterol, triglycerides, can relieve constipation, boost energy. Then we have is figs. Yvonne was showing figs. Figs have antioxidants, anti-cancer. They treat common illnesses, antibacterial, antifungal. They also have like cytotoxic activity, which kills off all the bad stuff. Anti-lipid, lowers your lipids, and then anti-diabetic. Then we have is grapes. Oh my gosh, we can't go on about grapes. Grapes actually have something called resveratrol in it. And this has been shown to actually lower inflammation and reduce obesity. So it's a really cancer-fighting nutrient and anti-aging to help you in your daily routines. Oh my gosh. And then pomegranate. Pomegranate comes over and over in the Quran. Plus, now science is actually proving that pomegranate, there's some sort of gut bacteria called Akkermansia. And the Akkermansia helps you prevent cancer and heart disease and all these chronic conditions. And it only makes up about 3% of your gut bacteria. But did you guys know that the only ways that we can get Akkermansia, you can't get Akkermansia through your probiotic supplement. You can only get it through cranberries and pomegranates. So we are just beginning to understand the benefit of these. So we talked about pomegranates, then we have bananas here. Again, a little bit higher glycemic, but antioxidants contain vitamin C. Watermelon, antioxidant, vitamin C, reduces inflammation, helps with heart health. So the list goes on and on and on about the benefits of these fruits and vegetables. And again, are super packed. Because if you're just going to look at, all like, for example, we have, quercetin. Quercetin is one of those anti-inflammatories that is specifically needed for this day and age to help fight off, the side effects of all these cytokine storms and the inflammation. So what happens is that how can you find quercetin? It's in apples. And then we talked about the importance of vitamin C that helps to increase your body's, T cells, that helps to helps boost your immune system. And again, berries and cantaloupe and guava and kiwi and citrus. And then, oh my gosh, it's so delicious. Just all of these antiviral foods like honey and, the list goes on and on about the most delicious ways to enjoy this. But again, super powerful, super delicious. And actually you get, some of your sweet tooth in there, right? Because these are all immune boosting foods right here. And actually, because they have vitamin C in them also, they actually also immune calming. So they're immune boosting and immune calming. While if we start going to all this other, like eat the rainbow junk sugar, that in and of itself does not cause immune boosting properties. That actually it throws more gas on the fire and actually weakens our immune system. So that was just a little bit, and now we're going to turn this over to Yvonne. I had to get my science stuff in here to show you guys.
Yes,
so important. This boosts your immune system, and it's delicious, and it smells so good.
Yeah, I wish they need to invent the smell-o-vision so that we can really entice everybody to do this. So absolutely. I just want to say a couple of things too. Like, I only have 4 different types of fruit here, and actually it's a little much for me. I mean, I don't need this much, but I wanted to show you guys some ideas. But I also have very, very basic kitchen gadgets. Like, I had 1,000,001 kitchen gadgets, you guys, and I was so overwhelmed, and I then simplified, particularly when I moved overseas and I couldn't take everything. I only took some very basic things. And so what I want to say is that you don't need a lot to produce really great recipes and great food, because think about how our grandparents did it, or great-grandparents, or great-great-grandparents. And okay, some things may have been harder, I get that, but it's just not impossible to make great food with very simple gadgets and very simple ingredients. So as Medea was talking, you guys might have seen me, I was just cutting up those figs, that little bit of figs, and it's already cooked down. So what I did was I cut those figs in half, and let me show you how beautiful, look at the center. They're really nice.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous. And I just cut them in half. You can cut them further, but I threw them in with a little bit of water, okay? And then I just cooked it, turned up the heat a little bit high, but I'm here watching it because I really want it to cook down, and you can see it's cooking into this really nice syrup. So I can do a couple of things with this. I kind of want to enjoy this tomorrow morning for breakfast. So I'm kind of making like a quick jam. It's nothing that's going to be preserved for a long time or anything. I'm not doing jarring and canning. Honestly, I don't really have the patience for that just yet. So it's a long process. So what I do are these like quick preserves or quick jams. And you can get pectin, which is a natural product that you put in fruits to make like a jam. But I kind of don't really do that just because I'm not saving this for a long time. So what I'll do is I'll cook this down, and if you like it chunky, you can keep those fig pieces in there. You can add a little bit of honey to this to sweeten it, but the figs are nice and sweet right now, so I don't think I'm going to do that. And if I want to puree it even more to get all those skins out, sometimes you don't like that. That's fine. You can keep the skins on and keep it kind of chunky. But if I want to smooth it out, this is one of the best things you can invest in. Instead of a blender, this is a handheld, like basically a pureer. Basically what it does is it gets all those skins ground into that milk. So you're getting that fiber, right? My grandparents used to use this when they made homemade tomato sauce. So they got all the skins ground in, so you weren't worrying about chunks of skin. So that's a great way to keep that fiber that Medea is talking about, right? So I will make this. And I'll cook it, for maybe 20 minutes or so. I'll cool it off and put it in the fridge. And then for breakfast tomorrow, I may have it with some yogurt or put it on some toast or something like that. So really, really quick. I mean, really, honestly, I'm kind of like almost done here, but you can make it to the consistency that you guys want. I don't know if I could show you how it is, but if you guys can see. Can you see that, Medea?
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
How beautiful is that? And that was so easy. So you literally just cut it while we were talking and then it's done?
And it's already done. You know,
oh
again,
my God, you guys, it's so easy.
Super easy. I've become like a really lazy cook, to be honest. I don't want to spend a lot of time in the kitchen. You know, and people say like, well, you cook and you have all this time, but quite honestly, I am not a person. I could spend 20 hours in the kitchen because I love cooking, but I just don't have the time. And I'm not going to, and I'm also so stubborn that I won't go and buy that stuff. I just want to make it because I know how simple it is. So there you go for that. Now, another recipe that I want to show you guys is, if you guys may have heard of this, in my very first year of food blogging, I came across this Mediterranean recipe for grilled peaches. And it was an Italian recipe, and I never had seen this before. But what I did was I replicated it, and we put like mascarpone cheese on it and grilled peaches. But now I do it with yogurt. So again, this is another easy recipe. You can do it in the oven. It's a little too hot to do it in the oven, but just for sake of showing you, I'm doing it. But on the grill is even better because you get the grill marks. So maybe if you have a stovetop grill or whatever. But basically, you really literally just put some olive oil on the peaches. I just took the pits out. So all I did was take the pits out, cut them in half, take the pits out, shower it with some nice, beautiful olive oil. We have our Zeytin Turkish olive oil in our online store. So I hope you guys look for that because it's really great, awesome stuff. So literally all I'm gonna do is stick this in the oven for like 20 minutes at 350. Or until they get like those really nice marks. You don't want to make them mushy. Again, you know, so you're not going to get a really soft peach. This is kind of when the peaches are like semi-soft. They're going to get nice roll marks, and then drizzle some some yogurt. If you do mascarpone cheeses or things like that, that's a really nice sweet because this is a dessert. This is not. You could put this alongside fish or chicken or whatever, but it's technically a dessert. So it's a great way to incorporate summer peaches into your diet, but you have the grill on, you might as well clean it up and add some fruit, so have that for dessert. So it's a really interesting way to cook it.
So easy and so delicious.
Yeah. And so the third recipe out of the four I have is, this is a good breakfast item. So this is just cut up some banana, and do you guys know tahini? Tahini is ground up sesame paste. It's a very healthy, energizing food. So what I do is I just take some tahini and spread it around. My jar is almost gone. I use it so much. This is a really good, actually, like before a workout, this is a really good recipe. It's got, a lot of energy boosting stuff here. So drizzle some tahini on top. You could put crushed nuts on top of this. I don't have any at the moment, but if I did, I would put like crushed walnuts or crushed almonds or something like that. In Turkey, there's a common dish which is tahini and pekmez, which is ground sesame with like a grape molasses. So for this recipe, I kind of twisted it a little bit and I do pomegranate sauce if I don't have
I love pomegranate.
I don't have the grape molasses right now, but I have a little bit of this. So just a tiny drizzle, and then it'll look really nice with nuts on top, but basically, not a lot of any of it. And then it would look a lot prettier with nuts on top. But basically, if you're a person who doesn't do big breakfasts or you really just need to get out the door, I made this as I'm talking, like 2 minutes to put together. So this is a powerful thing, and make sure the syrups that you buy are 100% syrup. Basically, it's just all that fruit that I just cooked. It cooked it down, cooked it down, cooked it down, cooked it down. So if there's no other additives to it, then all you're doing, you're adding a natural sweetener to this. So that's it. And then the last thing I have are sour cherries.
Sour cherries are so good for you.
They make
Yum.
a lot of these mm, mm. Oh, they are so delicious. They make a lot of juice, sour cherry juice in Turkey. Even like sodas, they make them out of sour cherry, and I just it's like my favorite flavor of anything here. But the thing that is really interesting about something like this is that in Turkish cuisine, I have seen it cooked with meats, so or cooked in stuffed grape leaves. So they make it's called vişne dolma. So they actually put the sour cherry inside the meat and rice and so on, and it's so tasty. I had it at a restaurant years ago, and it was fantastic. But I've also seen it in other meat dish recipes. So again, I mean that's a cooking part of cooking with the fruit, which some people don't like to mix that sweet and savory, but you can do the same thing I just did with the figs with the sour cherries. And I have a recipe for that on my website, myhellokitchen.com. One year I got some really amazing sour cherries at a farmer's market in Chicago. And I had so much of them, I didn't know what to do. So I made like a quick jam like that and then have it the next morning with some yogurt on top, even a mid-afternoon snack, with the sour cherries, the yogurt, make like a little parfait for yourself. And then there you are, you're kind of done. And there's lots of different ways to incorporate these kinds of things in your diet. Same with figs. Figs are also, cookable in savory dishes. So that's it. So Tina is saying, many assume eating healthy is very time consuming. You definitely help shed light on the fact it's really not. Thank you, Tina. Yeah, that's my hope is that, I don't have a lot of patience anymore for being a kid. When I was younger, I kind of spent more time, but I really just, life got busier and priorities shifted, but health is always a top priority. So I kind of feel like, and we all kind of get our groove. We all find our groove at some point. And I feel like minimizing my kitchen and minimizing, well, actually, doing the research on halal and diet eliminated a lot of things for me, and it made my life easier. So instead of seeing that as a bad thing, like, oh, there's so much that I can't have or whatever, it actually made my life easier. So that
so much that you can have.
So much that you can have, but actually, it's the what do they say? The about the fruit. It's like the low hanging fruit. Literally, the low hanging fruit is the best, the safest bet anyway. So we have to, as consumers, demand this stuff too. The more that you buy of it, the more that you demand this organic. I'm just always saying, like, let's hope those prices can come down. The more that people say no to chemical food and no to things that are adulterated that make food not food anymore. So here's the soapbox time, right? At the end of
Yes.
we get
real food. We want food because that is what. Okay, so this color, this rainbow that I want to show you, and this is why I always spend time to put this on a platter and show this. And look how beautiful it is. We don't need, but when you turn on the television, it's rainbow this and rainbow that, but all of that's artificial rainbow. God has provided us such nutrient dense fruits and vegetables and foods overall, plant foods, that we have to incorporate these on a daily basis.
Well,
I love my fruit platter.
Everybody talks about fake news, and I think we are living in a very fake world, actually. And so it takes a little work and a little effort to find out what is true. And I feel like one of the most important things you can discover is truth in food. Because without your health, you just don't have
wealth. Don't matter. Wealth don't matter. Without your health, wealth don't matter.
Yeah. So our mission is really to help you guys to empower your lives with good choices and truth in what you're putting into your body. I like to get, that's my personality. I like to get down to the bottom of things. I like to know what's real, what's not, and I stay far away from things that are not true.
Absolutely. And remember, these are things that we can incorporate to in our daily routines and get our kids. I mean, if we I do the same with vegetables. I lay this out and the kids come and they're like, oh my gosh, look at all this color that they're eating. So make it fun. And for us, I know there's one of my really close friends and somebody I look up to. Her name is Deanna Minich, and she has so many amazing like food trackers. And so that's what I do with my kids is they go through and say like with all the colors of, oh, did I get my red today? Did I get my yellow today? Did I get my orange today? Did I get my, and it turned into a game with the kids. It really did. And they loved it. They love eating the rainbow. Because when I were saying you got to eat the rainbow, they love eating the rainbow.
I think that's why I love, if you guys ever watch any of my Instagram videos, like probably the time that you'll see me lit up the most is when I do a tour of a farmer's market. And when I take you guys there with my, going live into a farmer's market, whether it's in California or Chicago, New York, Turkey, whatever, I light up because it makes me feel alive to see all that color. It's like it gives you hope in the world again. Like when you see things that are real and they're growing from the earth. I don't know, maybe I'm just a really earth nerd. I love that stuff. But I feel like all is right in the world when there is color, when there is something growing that you can eat, and it's not in a package. Like I really can't stand the stickers. I can't stand the packaging. It just drives me up bonkers. I just want to have the real thing.
The real, delicious, nutrient-dense foods. Mm-hmm. And then try to incorporate them in just like what Yvonne did. She incorporated them in her cooking.
Yeah.
And that's what I do at home too. I'm like, whenever a chance I get, my cakes all have fruit on them. My jam, just like in the morning, you do your jams with fruit on it. So try to sneak it in different types of ways.
Yeah,
and instead of sugar, because we just talked about how sugar was so bad for you, you want to now incorporate all of these different phytonutrients and get the sweetness that you desire, but with those phytonutrients that will help to optimize your immune system, that will help to immunorejuvenate your body and your immune system and get rid of all those zombie cells and so then it can feed and nourish. Because what I've done with all of my research, and I've noticed that once you start taking care of your body, the body takes care of you. And I think this is a way that you can take care of your body and still have fun at the same time. So much fun.
Once you get younger looking skin, right? Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want younger looking skin, right? I mean, really, you are what you eat. So
yeah.
Eat
right. And I know somebody asked here, what are the books you recommend about halal food? Yvonne's is probably the only one that I would ever recommend. I'm actually, seriously, right, Yvonne? Like, nobody else knows what they're talking about. But I'm actually writing a book.
There's different areas of expertise too. There's different areas. There's food science, then there's cooking, and so on.
My book, absolutely. I have a book coming up. I have 2 books coming up by Cube Publishing. And one of them is called The Quranic Prescription, Living Quran and Sunnah to Optimize Health, Healing, and Save Our Future. And that's coming out next year. But the one that I am working on right now that it's going to come out in the next couple months, inshallah, is called The Pandemic Prescription, Pearls from Quran and Science to Reinstate Hope and Healing for Humanity. I know mouthful, but really powerful. And that really talks about food and what we should eat and how we should eat it. And it dives into, so this is what I have been really diving into. So Yvonne, actually me and Yvonne did an amazing series. Remember, like was a year or 2 ago. So she can put the link down. If you're gonna want to know everything about food and halal food and tayyib food, me and Yvonne did an amazing series on just that. So we will link it down in the comments for you guys to see.
Yeah, I'll have to do that after the show because they're on my website, so I need to look those up.
Okay, yeah. So we'll send those, and that'll give you some more information.
Yeah. So I think
perfecto.
So thank you guys all for being here today.
Yeah.
Just trying to answer something.
Somebody said, oh, what is the benefit of yam in the human body? Packed with carotenoids, packed with phytonutrients that will help you optimize your immune system. Plus, it keeps you a little full. So it's really, you know, packed with phytonutrients that will help to heal from the inside out. We love, in my house, we love yams, and because it's that orange color that comes in like carrots and pumpkins and sweet potatoes and, you know, squash, that all have those alpha carotene and beta carotene. Alpha carotene also can even protect the skin, the vision, and protect against cancer. So
Yeah.
very
So
important.
next week, we will be back here again next week doing the same thing, different topic. Well, it's again, it's a different series of sorts. So we are here. We're not going anywhere. We're not even ending the series. There were so many requests for multiple types of information that we originally planned to do like 2 months worth, and then we decided, you know what? We're just not going away. We're just going to keep doing it.
Because we have both of us. If you guys can feel the passion, if you can feel the passion, please give us some heart love here, because we're both on the same wavelength. We're both passionate about the subject. We want you to get to eat real food and to show you the beauty that comes from eating real halal and tayyib food.
Yeah. And I really encourage all of you. Tina thank you, Tina. You've given us a lot of comments today, and I know you mentioned something about your husband being Egyptian and you're having, you know, like challenges with like cooking cultural food and things like that. Look at our past series on Facebook, recent ones, because Medea talks a lot about cooking for families and cooking for cultural, you know, pleasure and making sure everybody's happy with that, but how to do it in a way that is gut healing and so on. So look, I encourage all of you to, if you haven't seen the videos, go back to this Facebook page or on my YouTube, as well as our websites. And we're just reposting this stuff as much as we can, because we know not everybody is with us live. So please share with your family and friends, and join us again next week for another episode.
Because this is the exact perfect time to spread the power and to educate others about the power of food, especially in a time where we feel like hopeless sometimes or helpless.
Yeah.
The antioxidants, the phytochemicals, the phytonutrients, all of those for immune boosting power can start in your kitchen today. So please like and share this video. And then if you have any questions and other topics for series, please let us know. But
right.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys. We'll see you next week, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
So I can go ahead and eat my food.
I'm going to enjoy my jams tomorrow. Bye. Check out